Now, the shares of MTN this past week Friday closed trading up 5%, whereas we saw the shares of Telkom, ladies and gents, closing the day up 26%. I mean, those that are investing into Telkom, I'm sure they were really excited when they saw that big jump of its shares when the market closed on Friday. Now, one of the main things that resulted in the shares of Telkom specifically rising by over 26% was the fact that we read, or there were news that came of MTN planning to acquire Telkom, which is one of the things that of course resulted in the shares of both MTN and Telkom to surge in terms of the share price, which is something that of course made, like I said, those that are investing into both these two companies to be really excited. Now, of course, on this video today, we'll be discussing as to what the deal entails, or what this acquisition entails, and what benefit will it bring to MTN. Now, before we dig deep into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. Now, I'll really appreciate if you can just hit that likes button, comment, and subscribe. That's if you have not subscribed to the channel already. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that at least you get notified every time I drop a new content, because on this channel we talk everything about the stock market, whether locally in South Africa or internationally, be it in the US. If that's your niche, or if stock market is one of the things that you are investing in or planning to invest in, then this is the right channel for you, because like I said, here I cover both local stock market news and international stock market news. So if you enjoy the content, hit that likes button, subscribe if you want to watch more content like this. Now, without a waste of time, now one of the things that I personally think that resulted in the shares of Telkom surging on Friday by over 26%, it is because one of the analysts, or an analyst, came out and value, of course, the Telkom as a whole company, and he then realized that this is a company that is worth 24 billion rand. And if you have to go and look at the current market cap that Telkom is currently at right now, as seen on the screen, you notice that it is around 21 billion rand, which obviously from 21 to 24 makes, of course, the shares of Telkom to be trading at a discount. We can say that because the analyst valued Telkom to be worth around 24 billion rand. In fact, before we saw this 26% jump on Telkom shares, they were trading below, or they had a market cap of around or of below 20 billion rand. Now, this is something that obviously made a lot of Telkom, of course, shareholders, some to increase their holdings, or we got also new investors coming in and buying the Telkom shares because they knew that this company was undervalued, looking at the fact that the analyst, like I said, came out and indicate that the Telkom, according to his, of course, analysis, it is worth around 24 billion rand. Now, like I said, in Telkom, it's not the only one where we saw the surging of shares, but we also saw the shares of MTN surging by over 5%, which meant that obviously even those that are holding, or there were other new investors that went in, or obviously, and piled and load the boat on the shares of MTN, excited about this acquisition, or this planned acquisition by MTN of Telkom. Now, obviously, one of the things that we read, ladies and gents, is that this acquisition of Telkom by MTN, of course, it's not yet final. It's in its early days, so anything can go south. It is not yet confirmed if indeed MTN will be buying, of course, Telkom, but they are just, or the current status on this deal is still in introduction. So they are still talking, they are still discussing, or probably there are still so many things that can unfold, or before they made a final say, or before we, of course, get a final statement as to what is it that we can expect going further, if whether, of course, MTN will, of course, conclude buying or acquiring Telkom, which obviously them acquiring Telkom, or by MTN acquiring Telkom, it will also bring them, I mean, a couple of good things or good news into their business, because Like for instance, if they are to buy, of course, or acquire Telkom, they will have now a bigger capacity to launch and go for 5G, which is something that, of course, it will be a plus or a positive for MTN. And of course, you know that obviously for a company like Telkom has got a huge number of infrastructures when we look at their towers and masts. I mean, if there is one of the video that obviously those of you that have been following for some time, if you go a bit back on the video that I covered about Telkom, I think few months ago, you will notice that obviously there I was discussing about Telkom's infrastructure, which I indicated that Telkom was looking at obviously renting out their towers, renting out some of their infrastructures to some of the local service providers, not just only telecommunication side, but obviously even restaurants, because you will remember that some of the towers have got some good property spaces at the top, which enables those maybe that want to open a fancy restaurants where people get wonderful views to obviously go and pursue and open their restaurants there. So those were some of the, of course, strategies that Telkom was looking at, and already there are obviously other service providers, I think Vodacom and the others, that are already using the infrastructure or Telkom's infrastructure, which of course they are paying for, which is one of the things that obviously should MTN acquire Telkom, they are going to also benefit from, of course, renting out or hiring some of the infrastructures to the other companies that might want or that might be interested in wanting to use, of course, their infrastructures like their towers. So, like I said, this deal is still in its early days, and there are no signs that we could get to see this deal being concluded. It's in its early days, like I said. There are still going to be several talks, discussion, and it can go either way. It can end up, or we can end up seeing Telkom or being sold to MTN, or we can end up seeing Telkom remaining solo as a separate entity from MTN. That can still happen because these talks are still in early days. Now, one of the insiders did indicate that, of course, if MTN is to close this deal, will definitely benefit when it comes to obviously 5G and fiber. As you know that Telkom also has a lot of fiber infrastructure, which is something that obviously, like this insider is indicating, Telkom will also not just benefit when it comes to 5G, but also they will benefit when it comes to fiber. And as well, this includes bringing fiber to, of course, the end users, which is us. Telkom has got a large amount of fiber infrastructure, which is something that is incredible, and it will be a benefit to MTN. Otherwise, with all that, guys, like I said, these are the news that resulted in the shares of Telkom surging on Friday, up 26% to trade around 42 or over 42 rands per share, whereas the shares of MTN closed the day trading around 141 rands or over 141 rands per share, which is something that, like I said, excited those investors that obviously are investing in both companies. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick update about this latest major news of MTN planning to acquire Telkom. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, please, like I said in the beginning of this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey. And obviously, before you invest in any company or any stock, please consider doing your own DD so that at least you can be comfortable when you are investing onto the stock market or buying shares of Telkom and MTN. So do your own due diligence so that you can be comfortable when you see them, maybe the shares surging or dropping. You are comfortable because you know the fundamentals of both the companies. Otherwise, that's all from me, and God bless you all.